Pranam everyone. We are reading the book The Absolute Law of Karma, written by Param Pujya Gurudev Pandit Sri Ram Sharma Acharya. We are on day 4 today, and we are going to begin with reading how exactly does the mechanism of Chitragupt works in maintaining the record of our karmas. So till now we have understood that we all have our own Chitragupt inside our Chit, who records these external activities in the form of karma rekhas and sanskaras and stores them to give us our karma phal, which may or may not come in the next life or in the later lives. And this is how we learned that a part of our man, which is the Vyashti man, is linked to the God mind, which is the universal mind, or the supreme mind, which is the Samashti man. And this is how we learned that our soul or our Atma is a part of the bigger universal soul, or the God's soul, or the one and only supreme power. And that is why everyone on this planet is potentially divine. So let's start. How does Chitragupt maintain the record? Let us now discuss the working of Chitragupt. Why and how this deity evaluates the deeds of a person, and what are the yardsticks of this evaluation. We shall also find out how, after physical death, the lines of fate drawn by Chitragupt determine a soul's new incarnation in conditions of hell or heaven. So now we are going to learn about why does Chitragupt maintain this record, how does he maintain this record, and what are the parameters which help in this maintenance of records and the evaluation of these records. In the foregoing discussion, the reader has been introduced to the concept of subconscious mind. Our subconscious mind itself operates as the deity Chitragupt. It keeps a continuous micro record of our good and evil deeds in a condensed form, like the recordings on a small compact disc. The details of our virtuous and sinful deeds registered microscopically and subtly on certain neurons of the inner chambers of the mind. In this way, the writings of Chitragupt could be recorded as shorthand notes taken by the divine stenographer Chitragupt for presentation as testimony for the objective of evaluation of the total span of our life. So here it is very clearly written that it is our subconscious mind that has these furrows and indentations that actually are neurons storing every microsecond of our external activities, of our good deeds, bad deeds in a very condensed form. Just like a small CD has a large amount of storage. And this is then written in shorthand form or in very minute form, like large data stored in a compact form to be presented for evaluation after the physical death happens. We are aware that human mind works on two levels, one external and the other internal. The outer mind is analytical. It analyzes the pros and cons, accepts and discards, takes decisions and changes resolutions. The inner mind, on the other hand, is like an innocent but resolute child. So here they are talking about two minds, one which is the outer, the external, the more outward driven, analytical, decision taking, changes resolutions, tells you what's right, what's wrong. But the inner mind is like an innocent but resolute child, which is determined, which is very pure and innocent and free of all external coverings. It neither accepts nor discards anything, but as the true faithful representative of the divine, functions impartially towards divine justice. So here we see that the external mind is very tricky, and it tries to escape situations that are bad for us by suppressing or overlooking whatever is wrong that we have done as well, and tries to be partial towards us. And we also notice that sometimes in a lot of situations we try to give excuses when we know we are wrong, even despite knowing we are wrong, we try and create excuses around the situation and cannot be fully honest to even ourselves. But the inner mind is not like that. It always knows inside what is right and what is wrong. And that is why sometimes if you take advice or you hear people saying that inside you always know if you know how to listen to your inner voice or to your inner mind. The external mind may think of escaping punishment by suppressing or overlooking the recordings of the lines of evil deeds and highlight only the virtuous deeds for reward. The inner mind, on the other hand, works differently. It takes decisions like an unbiased judge of highest integrity, who cannot be influenced by allurement, fear, or vested interest. It is said that in each human being there coexist a saint and a devil. You may consider the secret inner mind as a representative of divinity, and the external mind, which is ever engaged in reasoning, rationalizing, deliberating, questioning, conspiring, and even in hypocrisy, as a tool of the devil. The external mind may deceive the soul by justifying each and every action of a person. The inner mind, on the contrary, is a flame of the soul and a projection of the absolute truth. It is therefore incapable of conceit and deceit and is innately calm and detached. That is why God has entrusted it with such crucial responsibility. For the common man, it is the deity Chitragupta. Being absolutely impartial, this deity has been given the highest set of divine judge. Like a secret service agent, this deity is all the time vigilantly shadowing a person and recording his action in its secret diary. So here we understand that it is our actual inner mind or the inner very low volume voice always tries to tell us when we do something wrong, say something wrong, even if we feel something out of line. It tries to tell us what is right or what is wrong. But it is the external mind which is actually driven by external gratification or external senses, which always tries to deceit the situation and reward us tries to lure us toward rewards. And that is why it is so important to be able to listen to that inner voice so as to make always the right judgment. And that is the difference between people, that someone's inner voice is loud enough for them to be able to hear it and someone's is not. But it is the inner voice that always tells you what is the absolute truth, because that is the divine judgment. And that is absolutely impartial, incredibly transparent, and always vigilant. That is why they say whenever you're trying to take a decision or you're doing something new or you're trying to think what to do in life, always think what feels in alignment. जो सहज लग रहा है, जो नॉर्मल लग रहा है या उससे कुछ अलग फील नहीं हो रहा है, बहुत सहज लग रहा है, एज इन बहुत नेचुरल लग रहा है, इट्स वेरी ऑर्गेनिक, इट्स इन द फ्लो. Try and do those things. Try and have that kind of energy around you. Try and find people or meet people who feel natural, who feel organic, and try and do things that feel organic, which in turns means try and keep listening to your inner voice as much as possible to be able to stay in alignment of the absolute truth and also in alignment with your own self awareness and your soul. And it is very important to note here that the word impartial, highest judge, divine judge, secret service agent, transparency, vigilant, all-time duty, secret diary, all these words are being used as a synonym for the Chitragupt or our subconscious mind, because that defines it to the best possible ability. And that is why the universal power or the divine power has vested the subconscious mind or this Chitragupt with such high responsibility of recording each and every external activity of every individual inside them. Hence, we must remember that whatever is being recorded inside in the subconscious mind, or the imprints we are creating inside ourselves, are actually very factual and super impartial. So nothing is being created out of emotions or out of attachments or out of hatred or out of anything that is not true absolutely, or that is not transparent. Thank you everyone for listening in. We meet tomorrow again with our 5th audio. Thank you.
हमारे YouTube चैनल को सब्सक्राइब कीजिए और बेल आइकन पर क्लिक कीजिए ताकि आने वाली सभी वीडियो की नोटिफिकेशन आपको मिलती रहे। आप सभी को बहुत बहुत थैंक यू।